Hey guys, mic's working. Double check this time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test. Hello? Nah, guys, I'm just messing around. The mic is on this time. Double checked, so we will be getting a weekly recap video, and this isn't going to be a huge waste of my time. So here, your host, Tom Opitz, is going to bring you, as we always do, a recap of Week 6 in fantasy football. League of Trees, specifically. The league this week, the League of Trees, was filled with a bunch of blowouts. I don't even know if we have a close game of the week. I guess mine and Chef was kind of close, but not really. It was never really that close. Blowouts across the board. The teams that won big, had a lot of big performers. Now, Week 7 is going to be interesting because that's the bye apocalypse. There's a ton of teams on bye, a ton of starters. Roster's going to look ugly. You're going to get ugly versus ugly, ugly versus good, good versus ugly. It's going to be every combination you can imagine. So we'll see who can come out of that week on top. But right now, let's get into Week 6. We'll go over the player of the week. We'll hit the matchups, news, notes. If there are any trades went down, we'll hit those. And then we'll wrap it up with the fan favorite power ranking. Now, we cannot go to the player of the week in a loss. Everybody knows that. If you don't win the game for your team, you can't be the player of the week. It's just not possible. And if we could, that player would once again be King Derrick Henry, who is on one of the craziest runs we've ever seen from a running back. Instead, it's going to go to a team who won and a player who showed out with their best performance so far this year. That player was CeeDee Lamb, who went up to New England and went nuts on the Patriots defense. 9 receptions, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, all totaling up to 36 fantasy points. CeeDee was on fire. An absolute banger of the game, scoring 36 of his team's 174 points. Congrats, Vin. That got you the win. And CeeDee looks like an absolute dog. He looks like the front runner on the Cowboys. And that offense this year is pretty damn explosive. We'll see if Dak and CeeDee continue to hook up in the future if the weight shifts to Amari Cooper or if Gallup's return has an effect. All right, let's hop into matchup. In what might have been one of the tightest scoring games of the week, it still wasn't a nail-biter that we've been getting so far this year. Sicko Mode defeated Free Lunch 130 to 120. Now, this was a big game because it could have knocked Sicko Mode a little far back in the standings to where they wouldn't have been able to make up ground. However, they directly gained a game on Free Lunch and now are only trailing by points for. For Sicko Mode, man, Free Lunch just couldn't take advantage of a down week from Lamar Jackson. He only had 11 points in this one. But Dalvin Cook returned to step up big with 22. DeAndre Hopkins, 3 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Ridiculous. Okay, just ridiculous. And to add on to that ridiculousness, Robert Woods, 2 receptions and a touchdown. Wait, these guys only catch the ball to score a touchdown. On what planet? Mark Andrews had the most respectable game, 5 for 68 and a touchdown. It's what everyone thinks when they're getting Mark Andrews. They don't always get this version of Mark Andrews. We'll see if Rashad Bateman has an effect on it. But right now, Mark Andrews is balling out. He's the tight end number 2 on the year, just behind Kelsey. He's having a great year. Him and Lamar are on the same page. We'll see if that continues going forward. Now, over for Free Lunch, obviously, Josh Allen balled out, 28 points. The dude is lights out. Antonio Brown, business is booming. Business is booming. Call God. Another big performance, 24 points, is very encouraging, and the newly acquired Ezekiel Elliott had 19. Now, this wasn't enough to get it done this week, and Free Lunch is going to bye week hell, so it might be back-to-back losses, dropping him too far down the rankings for him to make up. But that Week 7 matchup to infinity and beyond also has a lot of buys, so we'll see what happens. As for Sicko Mode, they're trailing pretty big in points for right now, so we'll see if they can make up ground in the upcoming weeks. Let's roll right into this next matchup between the Chupacabra Hunters and Golden T. Higgy, where the Chupacabra Hunters won 146 to 120. Now, just how everyone in the real world is shocked how the Bengals have come out hot this season. We are in the fantasy world too. We're seeing more big performances, more consistent performances from players like Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow, who really carry the Chupacabra Hunters this week. Mixon had 26 points, and Joe Burrow had 22. The Chupacabra Hunters may have found their quarterback. And let's not forget about Darrell Henderson, who had not too shabby 25-point performance at MetLife Stadium. Now, something to be worried about here is DK Metcalf. Without Russell Wilson, he had a bit of a down week with only 11 points. However, that was better than Tyler Lockett's awful performance. To add to those, TJ Hockenson had a bounce-back week with 15, and Deontay Johnson just kept doing his thing with 18 points in Pittsburgh. For Golden T. Higgy, Herbert had a really down week. It makes you think, are the Chargers for real or are they frauds with only 11 points? Now, as we said at the beginning of the video, the MVP of the fantasy season right now is definitely Derrick Henry. Now, while he's not winning games because Neves just drafted a piss-poor roster this year, he's still putting up the most insane numbers. He's on pace for 2,200 yards and over 25 touchdowns. Something ridiculous. 28 touchdowns, I think it is. It's just something ridiculous. It's something unheard of. The man just keeps going. Tractorcito is now tractor. That's it. There's no little tractor. The man is a full tractor, just rolling down the field. He cannot be stopped. He cannot be tackled. He just runs over people. He makes people miss somehow. He looks stiff as a board when he runs, but it just works. It works. And what is with the Titans and just having these Hall of Fame caliber running backs? You know, Chris Johnson didn't have the longevity to get there, but he is one of the few guys who have crossed the 2,000-yard threshold. Now, we'll see if Derrick Henry gets there, and we'll see if it helps Golden T. Higgy going forward. It doesn't really look like it. 2-4, it's almost in win-or-go-home territory week in, week out for Golden T. Higgy. As for the Chupacabra Hunters, man, the points for are there. They look like they might be a playoff team this year. It may be towards the bottom of, a lower seed, but they will definitely get it. Now, some will say this is bad luck. Others will say it's bad karma. Baba Yaga is averaging 156 against him weekly, and Fox Like Sox did not hold back. Now, he didn't hit that threshold, but he dropped 145 to Baba Yaga's 118. An absolute blowout. Like I said, that was a trend in Week 6. We got a lot of blowouts. This is going to be a quick one. Stafford, 25 points. Jonathan Taylor, rolling. The fifth running back on the year, 28 points. Christian Kirk, 18 points. Travis Kelce, 17 points. Emmanuel Sanders, 14 points. Our second bust from Mike Williams this year with only 4.7. But, that's going to happen from time to time with every player. Oh, and A.J. Brown finally showed up to the year with 16 points. On the losing side of the ball, Tom Brady, not his best performance. He had 18. Cortland Sutton is a monster. Looks like just a certified stud. He's hooking up a lot with Teddy Bridgewater. 23 points for the young vet. And DeAndre Swift continued to roll with a 17-point performance. All in all, 118 is not the worst week, but it's not going to get it done when your opponents are averaging 156. And like I said, Brandon will tell you this is bad luck, but maybe it's just karma for all the trading, all the secrets, all the murmurs that were going on. Maybe they were true, and this is just karma coming around to swing back. As for Fox Like Sox, they're in first place and look like they're just going to keep on rolling. Now, the colossal titan of the league, let's make a DL10, bounced back heavy this week with a big victory that keeps him in the playoff race. 4-2, he's in the 6th seed right now. I don't know how he's not in the first after that hot start. 121.88 to 112.28. He defeats Ip Man Wing Chun Academy as they fall to 1-5 and the 11th seed. DL got big performances all around. Aaron Jones, 21 points. Patrick Mahomes, 23 points. Brandon Cooks, another 18-point game. Just crazy. And let's not forget about Adam Thielen, who hasn't been the loudest performer this year, but he has come up clutch for the DLs with a 30-point game in Carolina. On the losing side of the ball, Sean went with the streamer of the week. This was a lot of people's streamer of the week, Tyler Heineke, against the porous Kansas City defense, but he busted only 10 points. The standout here was Leonard Fournette, who Sean fleeced me for Crowder and Robbie Anderson just a few weeks ago. Has stepped in big these past 2 weeks with a 30-point performance here in Week 6, but it was not enough to get it done. We'll see if Ip Man has anything left in the tank going forward as a 1-5 team. There's been a lot of rumors that he might quit. We'll see if that happens. Well, I hate to say this, but in this next matchup, there's really only one side of the ball to talk about because the losing side is just... it's tough to look at. The 0-6 Ocho Mush My Season only put up 89 this week as To Infinity and Beyond threw up 121. To Infinity and Beyond is a wrecking crew. They're in second right now, 4-2. It's a 4-2 logjam at the end of the standings, at the top of the standings, the top seeds, and then the last few seeds are all in a 3-3 mosh pit. It's getting pretty down and dirty. Let's talk about the winning side here. Dak Prescott, 27 points. James Robinson continues the ball, 19. And Tyreek Hill with 22. These three guys are pulling their weight. Now, who isn't? Austin Eckler. We saw his first down game of the season. The whole Chargers had a down game, and I'm sure they'll bounce back in Week 7. Unfortunate news for Tua Infinity Beyond as he lost Kareem Hunt this week. Now, it's not great, but he did get Dearness Johnson this week on the waiver wire, so maybe that's a fill-in coming up. Like I said, on the losing side of the ball, not much to talk about, but we did get our first big game from Stefon Diggs, who looks like he might be arriving here with a 24-point performance. Ken, I feel bad for you. It's been a rough year. Hopefully Michael Thomas comes back and brings you some luck. And over to Adamo, good luck this week, man. I hope you come out on the top of the ugly versus ugly matchup of the week. Now this one was a blowout. This last matchup was a blowout, and it's definitely not the least, but it is the final. A 39-point win for the ass stuffers, 174 to 135. Anytime you put up high numbers, it stings to lose, especially when the other team just goes crazy. Jalen Hurts stinks, but he works in fantasy, and that is very annoying. A 25-point game. Najee Harris is a beast, 24. Antonio Gibson, dud, but is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is he gonna play? How are his shins with those stress fractures? He might need some rest. That might be tough for the S-Stuffers to fill in a hole that big. Sorry guys, I didn't even realize what I did there. If anyone can do it, it's the S-Stuff. DJ Moore continues to dud as Sam Darnold struggles, but it doesn't matter because CeeDee Lamb, the player of the week, picked up the slack with 36 points and Cooper Kupp returned the form with 34. Now for the MetLife Sacco All-Stars, another great game by Kyler Murray with a 26-point performance in Cleveland. Noah Fant showed up with 24. That's going to happen from time to time. He's a super athletic tight end. And a waiver wire pickup came through. Khalil Herbert had a 20-point or 19-point outing. This was a matchup of two Titans, and it put the Ass Stuffers ahead of the MetLife Sacco All-Stars in third place as the All-Stars chase in fourth. Both of these teams look like they're solidifying a playoff position with how many points they're putting up every week. We'll see if they can avoid injuries and keep these trains rolling. And now, it's time for news and notes. Not too much went on this week. It was honestly a quiet week on the trading block. We started off with a controversial Sunday morning push-through Jamal Williams for Sony Michel between Dan and Chris. And the biggest move going into next week, Sean sent Leonard Fournette to Adamo for Marquise Brown. And we'll see how these moves pay off for the teams going forward. A running back for a wide receiver one-up is always interesting, but Sean definitely got a good player, as did Adamo. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Week 6 League of Trees Power Ranking. At number 1, Fox Likes Socks. At number 2, the Ass Stuffers. At number 3, Tua Infinity and Beyond. At number 4, MetLife Sacco All-Stars. At number 5, the Colossal Titan Let's Make a Deal 10. At number 6, the Chupacabra Hunters. At number 7, Free Lunch at the YMCA. At number 8, Baba Yaga. At number 9, Sicko Mode. At number 10, the Ip Man Wing Chun Academy. At number 11, Golden T. Higgy. Not so golden, more like fake gold. Fake 14-karat gold. And at number 12, to round out the league's power ranking, Ocho's Oddly Symmetric Dig. And that'll wrap up this week's recap video, guys. Thank God I remembered to turn my microphone on. As always, man, like the video. It'll help the video out. Oh, and we're sponsored by GOAT. GOAT USA. That's right, our first sponsorship. Nah, man, I'm just playing. Maybe if you guys actually like the video, watch the video. And if you like the video, then we'd be sponsored. And if you like the video, you share the video. And if you like the video, you disagreed, agreed, you left a comment. Maybe then we get the sponsor. But until then, we're not sponsored. Just GOAT USA, free ad. And as always, man, if you like the video, If you agree or disagree with something in the power rankings, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this week. And here we go, baby, off to week 7 of fantasy football. Peace out, Cub Scout.